My name is Rose. I was chosen to be the second wife of King Adewale, the mighty ruler of Oyediran. To my family, it was a blessing too big to refuse. To me, it was a cage made of gold. Because before the king ever looked my way, my heart already belonged to another, Bayo, the king's guard. Bayo and I had loved each other in secret since we were young. He was my first kiss, my first laugh, my first everything. When the king asked for my hand, I cried for 3 nights. But I said yes. How could I say no? My family's joy was too bright, too loud. My mother danced for days. My father thanked the gods. They never knew that while they celebrated, my heart was breaking. At first, I tried to forget Bayo. I truly did. I wore my fine dresses. I smiled when the king touched my hand. I sat beside the first wife, Queen Amok, and listened to her lessons about the palace. I played my role well. But at night, when the moon rose and the wind whispered through the tall trees, I could no longer pretend. I would slip out of my chambers like a thief. Barefoot, heart beating fast, I would cross the stone courtyard, and there, hidden behind the old palace wall, Bayo would be waiting. Oh, how his arms felt around me. Strong, warm, true. In his touch, I forgot I was a queen. I was just Rose, a girl deeply in love. We kissed like people drowning. We held each other like the world might end before morning. Our bodies knew each other well. Every sigh, every touch, every soft poem. It was a song we had sung many times before. But I was foolish. I thought the walls of the palace could not hear. I thought the stones would keep our secret. I forgot that no secret stays hidden forever, especially in a place where power and jealousy danced like fire, and Queen Amoki, she watched me. Her eyes, always calm and smiling, missed nothing. One evening, the first wife called her maid Aduke. She gave her quiet orders. "Follow the second wife," she whispered. "Bring me her truth." That night as I left to meet Bayo, I did not know that Aduke crept behind me, silent as a snake in the grass. She saw it all. Our kisses, our touches, the way Bayo lifted me into his arms like a treasure he could not part with. By morning, Queen Amoke knew everything, and she began to plan my downfall. The king announced a great festival soon after, a harvest celebration filled with drums, dances, feasts and prayers. Every soul in the palace had to attend, even the guards. I should have been careful. I should have stayed in my room. But when I received a secret message, "Meet me in the garden after the final dance," my heart leaped. I thought Bayo had sent it. I thought it was a chance for one more sweet night together. Bayo too received a message. "Rose waits for you in the garden tonight." Both of us, blind and foolish, walked into the trap with smiling faces. The garden smelled of wet earth and night flowers. Bayo stood under the tall Iroko tree, his strong figure waiting. I ran to him. I did not hesitate. Our mouths found each other like magnets. In that moment, nothing else existed. No king, no queens, no palace, only us. But then, torches lit up around us like a ring of fire. Footsteps thundered. Voices shouted. I turned and saw him. King Adewale, standing not 5 steps away, his face carved from stone. Queen Amoke stood beside him, her lips tight with cruel victory. Around them were the palace guards, Bayo's brothers in arms, their faces full of shock and pity. For one terrible second, everything froze. Then the king spoke, his voice low and shaking with anger. "Bayo," he said, "you were trusted with my life, and you have betrayed me." Bayo dropped to his knees. "My king, forgive me," he cried. "It was love. I could not stop." I fell beside him, the grass cold under my hands. "My king, it was my fault," I wept. "Please punish me, not him." But the king's eyes held no mercy. "You both have stained my name," he said. "The gods demand justice." He turned to the guards. "Take him." I screamed as they dragged Bayo away. I begged, I pleaded, I tore at my clothes. but the king would not even look at me. Queen Amok stayed a moment longer. She bent low and whispered in my ear, "You played with fire, little girl, and now you are burned." Then she too walked away, her robe sweeping the grass. The next morning, my world shattered fully. The king did not exile me. No, he did worse. He ordered me to live alone, in a broken house at the edge of the palace grounds, a place where forgotten servants went to die. No music, no perfumes, no silk, only cold walls and silence. No one spoke to me, no one dared look at me. I became a ghost inside the palace I had once ruled with my laughter. And Bayo, I heard nothing of him. Some said he had been sent to the far northern border to serve as a soldier. Some whispered he was locked away deep under the palace. I did not know which was true. I only knew that half of my heart was gone with him. At night, lying alone, I touched my empty belly and wept. I had dreamed once of giving Bayo a child, a little boy with his brave smile, or a little girl with his bright eyes. That dream lay in ashes now. Months passed, seasons changed. I became a shadow, eating little, speaking less. The once beautiful rose faded away. Then, one bright morning, news spread like wildfire. The kingdom was under attack. Rebels across the border, villages burned, people fled. The king's soldiers fought, but they were losing. A meeting was called in the great hall. All the chiefs, the warriors, the wise men gathered. "We need a hero," the king said. "We need a lion to lead our men." An old chief rose and said, "There is one, a man of great courage. His name is Bayo." At first, the king's face darkened. He had not forgotten our betrayal, but the kingdom's survival was more important than his pride. "Send for him," the king said at last. 2 weeks later, Bayo returned. When I saw him from my small window, my heart almost stopped. He was different. His skin was darker, rough from the sun. His body was marked with new scars, but his spirit burned brighter than ever. He bowed before the king and promised to fight, and fight he did. For many moons, the kingdom waited with bated breath. Finally, the news came. Victory! Bayo had defeated the rebels. The people sang his name in the streets. The king smiled once more. One evening, the king called Bayo to the throne room. He praised him before the chiefs. He restored his honor. He set him free from his punishment. Then the king turned to his people. "It is time to hear old wounds," he said. He sent for me. When the messenger knocked at my door, I thought it was a dream. I wrapped myself in a simple cloth and walked to the great hall. There, before the throne, I saw Bayo. Our eyes met. The whole world disappeared. The king stood and spoke. "Rose," he said, "you have paid for your mistake, and you, Bayo, have proven your loyalty." He paused. "I give you both freedom. Leave Oyediran. Live your lives together. Find your joy away from these walls." The whole gasped. I fell to my knees, overcome. Bayo caught me, lifting me with his strong hands. Without a word, we left the palace, hand in hand. Outside the gates, the sun shone brighter than I had ever seen. The wind smelled of new beginnings. The road stretched wide before us, unknown, frightening, but ours. I looked back one last time at the palace that had been both my crown and my cage. Then I turned away. Bayo squeezed my hand. Together we walked forward, two souls, scarred but still burning, into a future we would build with our own hands, free at last.